Okay, a beautiful Friday morning to you, and thanks for joining us on the show. It is Rapid Sport Highlight on Rapid Dawn, and I am Ijoma Victor. Now, it promises to be a fun-filled, fantastic Friday as I tend to take you on a jolly, bumpy ride in the world of sport. I'll begin from the NSC this morning, where the National Sports Commission, NSC, has announced that the highly anticipated 2026 National Sport Festival, NSF, tagged Coal City Games, will hold from November 27 to December 11. Now, the Director General of the National Sports Commission, Honorable Bukola Olokpade, revealed this on Thursday morning during the first main organizing committee (MOC) meeting for the Games held in Abuja. Now, we stated that the arrival of state will be from November 25 to 26. And that the Games will close on December 11, 2026, emphasizing that the dates are all, sacrosanct. Now, the DG said the final dates were agreed upon following a productive and fruitful meeting he had with the governor of Enugu State, Barrister Peter Mba. Honorable Olokpade further preached that the Coal City Games will break and set a record of being the best sponsored and funded games in the history of Nigeria. The DG also stated that as part of the Arhen's reforms agenda of the NSC to make hosting of the festival more affordable for state, the number of sports for the games has been reduced to 20. With 15 NSC compulsory sports, while the other 5 are within the prerogative of the host state. The compulsory sports that will feature at the Coal City Games are athletics, para-athletics, badminton, para-badminton, basketball, wheelchair basketball, boxing, cycling, football, judo, gymnastics, swimming, table tennis, para-table tennis, tennis, taekwondo, mixed martial art, MMA, weightlifting, powerlifting, and wrestling. Now, the Coal City Games is the 23rd edition of the festival. Well, the last one was in Abeokuta last year, that's 2025, and now it is the turn of Enugu. Let's see if they will surpass what Abeokuta did in 2025, and all eyes will be on the Coal City State, Enugu. And we head straight to World Athletics, where they have rejected all 11 applications submitted by the Türkiye Athletics Federation for athletes seeking to change their sporting nationality ahead of the 2028 Summer Olympics. Now, the decision affects a high-profile list of athletes, including Brigid Kosgei, Ronald Quivmoy, Rod Stoner, Rajendra Campbell, Jaden Hibbert, Wayne Pinnock, and Nigerians Favour Ofili, amongst others. Now, according to World Athletics, they are approving the mass transfer of allegiance would undermine key council principles, particularly the need to safeguard the integrity and credibility of national representative competitions. As a result of the ruling, none of the athletes involved will be eligible to represent Turkey in major international events such as the World Championship or the Olympic Games. The decision is a significant setback for Turkey's ambition to bolster its athletic squad ahead of the Los Angeles Olympic Games in 2028, while the affected athletes must now reassess their international future under existing eligibility rules. Yes, this has finally put to an end the speculations about Nigerians' Favour Ofili. Yes, she has her own fair share of what happened at the Olympics, and now she has finally, yes, she won't represent Turkey anymore. Now, the big question is, will she be returning back home to the AFN? I'm probably talking to our own DG, Honorable Olokpade, that's DG of the National Sports Commission, because she has really praised favor of what she has done in recent years, and he kind of understood what she has really passed through. He actually addressed this last year during the National Sport Festival. But let's see how it pans out with FIFA, and let's see how it goes. Maybe she can return back with Nigeria being the big brother with open hands, embrace her, and she will definitely prepare for the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. I will head straight into basketball, where Nigeria's D Tigers will discover their group stage opponent for the 2026 FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup 2026 on April 21, that is Tuesday next week, following the confirmation of the draw principles by FIBA. Now, according to details released, the official draw ceremony will take place at the Raftwerk Berlin in Germany, where 16 qualified teams will be put into 4 groups. Now, FIBA also outlined key regulations guiding the draw. The teams will be seeded into 4 pots, with host nation Germany already pre-assigned to Group A. In addition, the draw structure ensures competitive balance, with a maximum of 2 European teams permitted in each group. The Tigers, Africa's leading women's basketball side, will be aiming for a favorable draw as they prepare to compete against world elite teams at the tournament. Now, if you see that seed on your screen, we'll see where the Tigers, that is Nigeria is seeded in seed 2, where you have China, Belgium, Spain, and Nigeria rocked bottom. Now, also in seed 1, you see Germany, the United States, France, and Australia. And in seed 3, we have Japan, Peru, Italy, and Korea. Then the last seed, that's seed 4, you have Turkey, Czech Republic, Mali, and Hungary. And we head straight into the camp of Anthony Joshua, where he has resumed training with a former heavyweight rival, Oleksandr Usyk, as he continues preparations for a return to the ring and could culminate in a battle of Britain's bout against Tyson Fury later this year. Now, Joshua and Usyk have been in camp together in Valencia for several weeks. Joshua returned to Spain after watching fellow former world heavyweight champions, the Gypsy King, Fury, unanimous points victory against Aslanbek Okomudov. Let's also tell you that fight actually went down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Saturday last week. Now, the Olympic gold medalist Joshua is being lined up to face Fury in November, possibly at the Wembley, but would most likely have to overcome a warm-up opponent beforehand. Now, Joshua's next fight will mark the first time he has been back in the ring. He has been involved in a car crash in Nigeria in the month of November 2025 that killed 2 close friends. Now, he hopes to receive medical clearance in the next fortnight to resume full training after suffering injuries in the accident. World Boxing Council, World Boxing Association, and International Boxing Federation (IBF) world champions Usyk beat Joshua twice in 2021 and 2022, but they have now joined forces with the Ukrainian, insisting if we don't help each other, we are not people, we are animals. Well, let's see how it pans out, that fight between Joshua and the Gypsy King. I will come back home. I will head straight into the National Institute for Sport, where after a year of hiatus, the institute matriculated 232 students in various departments. Now, the admission is coming after a year. The admission process was suspended by the Director General, Chief Executive Officer of the institute, Comrade Philip Schwaibu. Now, according to the DG, the current students are coming after a reorganization of the procedures in student admission in accordance with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's plan to reposition the NIS as a foremost sport institute. Comrade Schreiber, however, advised the new intakes to not only be law-abiding, but must be disciplined to be able to turn out good and disciplined coaches and administrators. Away from the institute, we come back home to the MPFL, that's the league, where Sporting Lagos have secured promotion to the Nigerian Premier Football League (NPFL) after a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Osun United in Osogbo. A result that also confirmed that the host Osun United will be relegated to the Nationwide League 1 (NLO). Headed into the decisive final day fixtures, Sporting Lagos required a win to guarantee their return to the top flight. Now they are delivered with a disciplined and composed away performance. Now the victory ensured that they finished top of the Conference B with 36 points, sealing the lone promotion ticket. Now for Osun United, the defeat brought a disappointing campaign to a close as the club dropped to the top tier, the NLO, following a season marked by inconsistency. Elsewhere, former MPFL champions Aqua United kept their promotion hopes alive with a 2-1 win over Solution FC in Oka. Now let's also tell you that however, despite the victory, they fell short, just finished second on 35 points. Now 1 point behind Sporting Lagos. Now the final round of matches across Conference B produced mixed outcome. First Bank FC played out a high-scoring 3-0 draw against Gotsulakpabio United, while Stormers suffered a 2-0 home defeat in the hands of Ekiti United. Calabar Rovers recorded a narrow 1-0 win over Abakaliki FC, but the result was not enough to preserve their status. At the end of the campaign, First Bank FC, Osun United, Calabar Rovers all relegated. Sporting Lagos promotion also represents a notable milestone for football in Lagos State. For the first time, 3 clubs, Ikorodu City, Inter Lagos, and Sporting Lagos, will feature in the MPFL next season. Well, smiles on my face for teams in Lagos, just like you have in Kano, Barra FC, and Kano Pillars. Just like you have in Abia State, we have Abia Warriors and Enugu, not Enugu, talking about Eyimba. Yes, Abia Warriors and Eyimba representing, Abia State. But for the first time, we have 3 teams: Inter Lagos, Ikorodu City, and Sporting Lagos. It will be football at its finest in Lagos State come 2026-2027 season. And to women's football, the Nigerian Women's Football League (NWFL) has handed 2 match suspensions to 2 players from a violent post-match incident during Premiership fixtures in Ado-Ekiti. Now the sanctions stem from event after match day 15 clash between Ekiti Queens and Pace-Setat Queens played on April 15, 2026 at the Oluyemi Kayode Stadium. Now the match ended 2-0 in favor of Ekiti Queens, but was marred by a confrontation involving Telsmot Balogun and Pace-Setat Queens in the person of Basurat Suleyat of Ekiti Queens. Now both players were involved in confrontation. Now according to official reports, the altercation occurred immediately after the final whistle, with both players engaging in conduct classified as violent and unsporting. Following a comprehensive review of the referee's report, the match commissioner findings and available videos footage, the NWFL determined that the action of the players brought the game into disrepute. Both players have consequently been suspended for 2 matches, with a ban taking effect from match day 16. WFL Chief Operating Officer Modupe Shabi reaffirmed the league's strict stance against violence, warning that future incidents could result in more severe disciplinary measures, including indefinite suspension. Now she stated that maintaining discipline remains essential to safeguarding the integrity of the league and ensuring the safety of players and officials. And we head straight to the UEFA Europa League played yesterday. Aston Villa demolished Bologna and Nottingham Forest beat FC Porto in Europa League on Thursday to set up an all-English showdown in the semi-finals. Now leading 3-1 from the quarter-final first leg, Unai Emery's team await aside, sweet aside rather, Bologna with a 4-0 victory at the Villa Park. Forest, 12 spots below fourth place Villa in the Premier League, defeated 10-man Porto 1-0 in Nottingham to secure a 2-1 aggregate success. Now Villa are into their second European League semi-final under Unai Emery after making the last four in the Conference League in 2024. Now Europe League specialist Emery has won the tournament 4 times, 3 with Sevilla and 1 with Villarreal, and also finished as runners-up with Arsenal. Now Ole Watkins has scored twice in the first leg in Italy, and England striker tormented Bologna again in the 16th minute. Now it was an eye-catching goal as Villa flew in 14 past move climax with Morgan Rogers setting up Watkins for a tap in 6 yard. Let's also tell you that it is Watkins' 100 goal for Villa made him the club's top scorer in Europe. Let's take that interview of Unai Emery after the game.
How we enjoyed it with our supporters today, and the atmosphere they created here is really fantastic. Huge atmosphere, helping and being with us, feeling with us everything we were doing, transmitting us the energy, and we were transmitting them our energy as well. And of course, respecting the competition, respecting Bologna, we beat them. And now we must be happy, proud of everything we are doing, but still work to do, still matches to play. The priority is still being the Premier League, and we are 4th. We are playing on Sunday against Sunderland. Of course, semi-final is something we must be proud how we got it 2 years ago in Conference League, how last year we played quarter final in Champions League, and this year semi-final in Europa League. Happy, but as well keeping balance, because we must carry on and being very demanding and achieving our consistency like we did. Today playing 90 minutes serious match, we achieve it being consistent, and still work to do, but of course we are excited and motivated, and of course our supporters, they must enjoy with us and share everybody here in Villa Park our move, and of course how we are feeling this competition, something special we can achieve. Numbers, individual numbers, they are very important for them and for the team. And of course we are proud of every player when they are achieving their individual objective. And today special day for Watkins, for his number.
100 goals for Watkins. Yes, the highest goal scorer in Europe for Aston Villa. Well, that's Europa League specialist Unai Emery. 3 trophies with Sevilla, 1 with Villarreal, and is hoping to get 1 with Aston Villa. Now let's look at other results also played yesterday in the Europa League. We saw how Freiburg also qualified, beating Celta Vigo by 3-1 on the road. We also have Braga beating Betis 4-2 on the night, and also qualified for the next round. Then Nottingham Forest, that's a surprise for me. Nottingham Forest beating FC Porto, like I said, taking Porto on the date in the Forest, and also clinching a ticket in the semi-finals. And looking at the Conference League result, let's also tell you that AZ Alkmaar played out a 2-2 draw, but Shakhtar going through to the semi-finals. AEK Athens, despite beating Rayo Vallecano 3-1, could not qualify, as Rayo Vallecano will be heading straight to the semi-finals. Let's also tell you that Fiorentina defeated Crystal Palace 2-1, but Crystal Palace will be pulling through to the semis, and Strasbourg defeated Mainz 4-0. Now the semi-finals of the Europa League and the Conference League confirmed. Now, the Europa League semi-final fixtures for the ongoing season have been confirmed. Now, following the conclusion of the Europa League quarterfinal second leg fixtures played on Thursday. Now, let's tell you that the 4 teams that made it to the Europa League semi-finals, Aston Villa and Braga, Nottingham Forest and Freiburg. Now, the Europa League semi-final fixtures will take place on April 30. Now, what you're seeing on the screen now is that of the Conference League. Now, let's give a rundown of that Conference League as we talk about the semi-finals. It will be Rayo Vallecano up against Strasbourg. Then we see Shakhtar Donetsk take on Crystal Palace. That's talking about the semi-finals. Another English team in the Europa League. And for the Conference League, let's also tell you, it is confirmed it will be all English affair, where Aston Villa will be up against Nottingham Forest. Another date again at the Forest. Let's see how Unai Emery will get this one. Then the other big one that we go down is Braga up against Freiburg. So like I said, it is going to be an epic affair. In the Champions League, you have English team. In the Europa League, there's also an English team. And in the Conference League, you will also find an English team. Is the English team doing well? Okay, we'll wrap it up this morning with Lionel Messi. Yes, Lionel Messi has acquired a club in Italy. And you'll be wondering, yes, that's Lionel Messi. He has gotten a club in Italy. And with that particular one, we'll say, what is next for this man? Talking about Lionel Messi. Well, we'll keep tab with him and let's see how it pans out. We also have Michael Olise, who has been included in the team of the week. We also have the likes of Arsenal, Matthew Zubimendi is also part of that list. Talking about team league of the week. Olise, Zubimendi were impressive for their team. We also have that's against Real Madrid and Sporting CP. So this is where we wrap up the show this morning. It has been an interesting one. Like I said, taking you on a jolly, bumpy ride when it comes to sport. As you remain, Ijoma Victor, do have yourself a beautiful weekend ahead. Good morning.